So as I talked about yesterday, Alex Jones was actually banned from YouTube, which is probably one of the biggest KOs that can be delivered to any sort of new media person. Now, his channel had over 2 million subscribers, thousands upon thousands of videos. I'm going to take a wild guess, which isn't that wild. I'm going to assume that most likely the majority of his revenue came through that YouTube channel. And it's very obvious to say that because not only, do you get ad revenue from there, but that is what leads you to more exposure to, more people buying his bogus products, his his BS products. And so it started off previously, probably like a day or two before, where Spotify decided to take down a few of his podcasts. Then I think Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube all sort of did at the same time, where they just barraged Alex Jones, just took him down. Now I talked about that at somewhat length, I sort of talked about it, and I said that, I'm sort of torn on it because he, in my opinion, I think that he's committed things that are, speech that, obviously from the jump, it's not a First Amendment issue because it's not dealing with the government censoring anybody, okay? So it's not a First Amendment issue to begin with. However, there is the principle of free speech, okay? The principle. Now, the principle of free speech, essentially the idea is outside of libel or slander, direct threats of violence, and incitement of violence in certain cases. Those are the only things that are the exceptions to the rule of allowing free speech, allowing people to say whatever the fuck they want to say, right? And in my opinion, I think that he's in violation of direct threats of violence. He's said to Adam Schiff, get in my face, I'll beat the shit out of you. So there is no doubt in my personal mind that he's done direct threats of violence. So I think that, he's quite clearly in violation of that when it comes to the principle of free speech. So there's that on the one hand. But on the other hand, when you do something like that, when you take down a channel with 2 million subscribers and thousands upon thousands of videos, you're setting a precedent of there's no doubt about this. And I'm not making any equivalency between a channel like Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones because there is none. But, it's much easier now for them to take down any one of the political YouTube channels now because of that happening. So, it would be a lot more foreseeable for that to happen than it is, than it would have been prior. And that's the thing that I'm really worried about because we saw what they did to the weed channels. They just completely, one day they just tried to just fucking close it all down, just shut everyone down. They shut down all of the weed channels, which is insane. That is an insane move, insane power move especially. But here's something interesting. So out of all the sort of social media places, Twitter decided not to suspend or ban him. Now, Jack, who's the CEO and I think the founder of Twitter, he said, "We didn't suspend Alex Jones or InfoWars yesterday. We know that's hard for many, but the reason is simple. He hasn't violated our rules. We'll enforce if he does, and we'll continue to promote a healthy conversational environment by ensuring tweets aren't artificially amplified. Truth is, we've been terrible at explaining our decisions in the past. We're fixing that. We're going to hold Jones to the same standard we hold to every account, not taking one-off actions to make us feel good in the short term and adding fuel to new conspiracy theories. If we succumb and simply react to outside pressure, rather than straightforward principles, we enforce and devolve impartially, regardless of political viewpoints, we become a service that's constructed by our personal views that can swing in any direction. That's not us." He says accounts like Jones's can often sensationalize issues and spread unsubstantiated rumors, so it's critical journalists document, validate, and refute such information directly so people can form their own opinions. This is what serves the public conversation best. So this is interesting. First of all, I want to start out by saying him saying that Alex Jones is not in violation of the rules is total BS. Because the way that the terms of service of all of these different sites are set up is it's so vague that they can essentially deem anybody that they possibly want to have broken their rules. So the idea that they can't make that, I just find that to be a flawed bullshit reason, if you know what I mean. But the point here being is that I actually agree with Jack. I'm glad that he didn't ban Alex Jones from InfoWars. This is a whole nother layer of what we're talking about, because this would set a horrendous precedent, because now you're talking about going outside of YouTube. You're essentially getting not shadow banned, you're just getting banned, destructively banned from every possible social media place there is. Well, okay, so I'm shocked that they all worked in unison. Spotify starts it off, then iTunes and YouTube follow suit right quick. I don't like that kind of power. That's not something that could be held accountable, and it can definitely be used in the wrong way, and I know it's going to be used in the wrong way. So I'm actually glad that Twitter has not banned him, and I hope they don't, because the precedent of just going out and banning somebody from every fucking platform possible is an insane precedent to set. That is a very scary precedent to set, and it gives these sort of douchebags in Silicon Valley the power to just sort of strip away all the shit that you've worked for, in terms of putting out essentially what Alex Jones is doing is a business, it's work, and all that shit, just one day everybody just wipes him off the face of the planet. I don't agree with that, and I'm actually, some of you may be surprised, but I am glad, I repeat, glad that Jack did not ban Alex Jones.